Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about balance changes. And it was a rumor that there were balance changes coming maybe this month, and now Supercell have just said that there are some coming this week. And I'm just thinking, what cards are they going to put in, and what do we want? What does everyone else want to see? And I'm just going to be discussing what I want in my balance changes, and what you guys have probably been speculating about too. So the first card I'm going to say, and you guys have probably thought of it too, is the Sparky. I'm not sure about you, but I use a Sparky pretty much since Builder's Workshop, which is when I actually got her. It was my first legendary, and she was actually really overpowered down there. And I'm not sure if she was overpowered in other arenas, like further up, but for me, she was just so good at defending any push. I didn't use her to attack, but she did get to the tower a lot because people were inexperienced in defending her. But just defending golems, defending giant pushes, anything like that, and it was really easy for me with her. But she's actually gone off the radar right now because of all the new cards that have come in, and all the cards that can easily counter her, like the Electro Wizard, and, well, what else? The Ice Golem cheap units like that, just that you can stick right in front of her, and she'll actually just be uncharged, and she'll have to charge up again. Now, there are probably ways Supercell are thinking to buff her, and I'm just going to explain some that I think. First one is to give her a quicker charge speed. Her charge speed right now is 5 seconds, and I think that's way too long because it's about a quarter of the time it takes for her to get from the back of the arena down to the bridge on your side. But I really think it should at least be, I know this might be a stretch, but 3 seconds seems pretty good for me because she needs to be able to charge up and really be a threat to any push or any tower that you're trying to attack for. And I think this could help. It might be a bit too much, but I don't think she'll be in everyone's deck. She needs to, be tweaked around a bit. Maybe her speed could be changed, either slower or faster, to help build a big push or get it to your side quicker. And the next card I'm going to be talking about is the Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard is one of the first legendaries with the princess in the game. He's had a very cool concept. He's slowing down units. He was just so cool. But he really went out of the meta when there was just so many more unique legendary cards. And when the Electro Wizard came in as the new legendary wizard, he was really the better version of him. He stunned, which slowed things down, just like the Ice Wizard did. And he did more damage with attacks, and he had the unique feature where he could shoot. He can shoot 2 things at once. But yeah, that's what made the Ice Wizard go off the radar. And I think one way that he could be further buffed is by, one, everyone's been talking about him being able to one-shot skeletons with a damage buff, but I really think it would be cool if he maybe had a area death damage. Maybe he could have like a kind of Ice Golem slow, because that's his ability. He slows units down. And I'm just thinking, he's made of ice, why not be able to slow things down when he's killed? And another thing that I think would help for him on defense is probably a health buff. Like, he should be able to stick with you to help you defend big pushes like Golem and stuff like that, to help you deal with it, Royal Giant. And yeah, I think that would just be good. All those together, or maybe one each, would be really good. I think that would help him. Next card is going to be the Bomb Tower. Now, the Bomb Tower is one of the first, there's been a lot of defensive units, but the Bomb Tower has always been one of the oldest and most used in the lore arenas to deal with spam, like skeleton armies and stuff like that. And it's just gone out of the meta because it's 5 elixir, it's just a bit too much where there's cannons and tornadoes to use, and people just don't use it. Now, Supercell have tried to buff it with health boosts, damage boosts, range, but I really think that it just needs more of a unique ability. I think it should be able to drop a large radius bomb, bigger than the giant skeletons, just not as powerful, but maybe double damage of a bomber or something like that. I just think that would work really well to give it more of a scary appeal. Like if you're doing a giant push and stuff behind it has a bit of health from dodging the bomb tower, blowing up once the bomber has died when he drops his bomb, that would just be a really cool feature. Or another one people are speculating, but I think this might be a bit too overpowered, is a bomber actually drops out. The bomber that's inside the bomb tower would be able to drop out and just be a normal bomber on the field. But, you know, that could help it. It definitely would be more used, but yeah, that's just one thing, I think. And the next one is the clone spell. When the clone spell first came out, it really wasn't used at all. A few Lava Hound decks were... people used it with Lava Hound because, you know, people were inexperienced in countering it, but it just really wasn't up to scratch with other spells. Their main use for it was the friendly battles and challenges to try to see how many cards you could get down, and when you've got a whole mass of units, you just clone all of them. That was its main use. People used it for fun, not in battles, which is kind of disappointing because in Clash of Clans, it's a really good spell, and everyone, or not everyone, I don't play Clash of Clans, but I've seen it in action, and it looks much more overwhelming than it is in Clash Royale. I think one way they could deal with this is maybe a triple clone, not a quadruple, that's a bit too much, but triple, because the units only have one hit point, and it might be a bit too overpowered with, I don't know, 3 Musketeers or something like that. But I really think, oh, what am I talking about? I mixed up the way the clone spell works. I was just thinking, and the other one I was going to say was the units maybe being two-shotted, and that does actually that doesn't seem like too much, but one-shotted is just so easy. And two-shot for their first lot of health, like guards would vary because they have shield and Dark Prince, but I think that would work so well just because, you know, if you had a clone spell that would have more health on the unit that's being attacked, that's attacking, or even defending, like with 2 shots it could be really good against Sparky. That could be really overpowered. But yeah, I think that would actually really help it a lot. Next card, which is probably on everyone's mind, is the Tesla. I've never really used the Tesla, but I know how good it actually is. And I know that it can be good because of its really unique ability to be hidden, and then when it pops up when a unit comes close to it. But it really isn't used much because it doesn't stun, it doesn't do anything like that, and there are things like cannons and tornadoes, and with all those cheaper defensive buildings and cards coming in, there's really no place for it in the meta or in the game at all. So what I think it should do is have a really quick stun rate, quicker than the Electro was, like not too long, but it should be able to slow stuff down, and it's electricity, and like Electro Wizard is able to do it, Zap is able to do it, Lightning's able to do it, and I really think that the Tesla should be able to do that too, because that would really help its defensive capability and really make its way back onto the whole Clash Royale and everyone's decks. They would be using it more because it's more reliable. Next card I'm going to be talking about is the Bats. The Night Witch came first before the Bats, and she was very overpowered because she was a hard-hitting unit with additional bat spawn and a death damage of bats, or death spawn of bats. But bats, when they came into the game, weren't really much of anything. They're 2 elixir, which is more than skeletons or any cycle card that you'd actually use in a cycle, and they weren't really reliable because you can just zap them. And they did originally have 5, but before they actually came out, Supercell toned them down to 4 because of how OP the Night Witch was. But I really think, 1, they should have more bats. I was actually thinking 6 bats. That might be a bit too much, but they're zappable, they're really low health, and they don't do too much damage, but they do a lot when they're there. And yeah, I really think that would help them out because they're 2 elixir, they should be way more value than they are right now. And I think that would just help them be a better defensive and maybe even more cyclable card. Next card, who has been punished his whole life through the game, is the Dark Prince. He's been through a whole load of balance changes, And even though he's been buffed, his attack has been buffed, his shield, his speed, it's been changed around so much by Clash Royale on the team, but he just isn't used. And I think what they really need is a really strong, unique ability that will help through everyone's decks. And I think he should have maybe a stun effect like the execution he used to have. With a big staff, he should be able to do something like that. Or maybe on his first hit or something like that, be able to push units back with his huge mass and his shield. And maybe use his shield to be able to push back units as maybe a battle ram kind of thing. Next card I'm going to be talking about, and it's just gone through a balance change, but it still isn't quite there yet, is the Inferno Dragon. I think the Inferno Dragon is a really cool concept and a great card, and he has been used in decks like the really popular meta Bridge Spam with Bandit and Battle Ram and Night Witch. But I really don't think he's at the level that he needs to be at. I think a really cool ability, since he is legendary and he does already have that Inferno Tower capability, I think he should be able to drop a kind of explosive. Now, if you remember what his card is, he's just a normal dragon with a helmet and kind of like a power source backpack on his back, which supplies him with the Inferno Tower capability to just warm up and kill units with more damage over time. I think that could be highly dangerous, and once he's killed, that drops to the ground and acts as a huge explosive. Not as much as the giant skeleton, I'm not talking anything like that, but something that can pose a problem once you've defended it, and once it's maybe on the tower, it can drop that bomb and do more damage once it's there, because it needs to be more punishing, because a zap can counter him, and I don't really think that is fair to him, and really isn't strong enough for him to be used in a deck. Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. More of a in-depth video, not my ladder gameplay or testing out decks. I just wanted to go over the balance changes and what they could be, because you should really get ready for them because they're coming this week. I'm going to be doing, before they come out, if anyone wants to see this like ratio or maybe comments, just tell me if you want me to do this. I'm going to do cards that are way too overpowered and need to be nerfed this coming balance update. Thank you so much for watching. New videos coming every day. I've been slacking a bit because I've had a bit on, but yeah, this is the new kind of setup. You know what my videos are going to be about, and I hope you're enjoying the quality. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you soon.